Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another cast of VRML Breachers. Today we have an exciting game between Elite Shadows and Stormwatch. So my name is Martini, and unfortunately tonight it'll be just me in the casting booth. I normally don't hop in this early before the game starts. I will say I see 9 players in the lobby like 4 minutes out. So this is I don't know. Either these teams are crazy punctual, or we'll be waiting 10 minutes for one player. We'll have to see what happens. No one has notified me of that, so we'll kind of hop into some pre-game analysis, kind of talk through what we're seeing between these two teams. Before we do get started, shout out to one of my personal favorite sponsors, Triangle Factory, for providing us with the game we love and for supporting Season 4 of VRML. And of course, our other favorite sponsor that I love, HyperX, for offering some great products like the high quality Quadcast X here, and also great peripherals for computers. I'm finally back home, so I don't have my mobile setup anymore, so I can finally get back to casting, and it looks a little bit better, right? I have a slightly better camera, slightly better microphone, but hey, here we are, and we're going to be getting ready for these two teams to be playing here. Let me get in here. But let's see what's going on here between Elite Shadows and Stormwatch. If you've been here for a couple seasons, I will say you might recognize some of these names here, right? Let's check out the matchup here. Elite Shadows themselves have been here since Season 2. So definitely a couple seasons around the block here, and Stormwatch themselves have been here since Season 0. So preseason, 2 years ago now. Think about that. These teams have history here, and it'll be definitely interesting to see how these matchups kind of come in here. I believe it's gonna be 2 silver teams. I gotta double check the standings, but it looks like as of right now they are about the silver team mark here. So it'll be exciting to see how these two teams come head to head. And like I said, I always love casting up and down the ladder, because every game does provide a very interesting way to look at it. And I mean, check out the rankings here. That's as close as you can get. 45th spot and 46. I mean, they're right next to each other, which honestly is unheard of for a lot of these matchups, right? Usually these teams, unless you're in a master tier team matchup where it's only it's the top 8, right? So they'll be really close to each other in terms of standings. Normally across the ladder, it doesn't happen quite as often. Maybe you're talking within 2, 3, 4 spots, but to be next to you in terms of spots, that's always fun to kind of see in terms of a matchup, especially in terms of this casting here. So we'll get to see how these teams come head to head, and what maps they choose. Looks like in terms of bans, they did choose Mall and Factory, which is definitely some bold choices. I think Mall was probably because it's a newer map, so they do want to not utilize that new map yet. And Factory is great. It's the most recent map and the oldest map you could think of. So it's kind of cool to see these teams, what kind of a decision. Oh my goodness, sorry. A lot of stuff on my stomach right now, but it's cool to see the decision making going through these teams, how they decide which ones to do it. But anyways, let me know in the comments, what team do you think is gonna win between these two? Let me double check the community standings here. Elite Shadows having 30 votes to Stormwatch's 7. Definitely some stronger opinions in the community. They're expecting, it looks like, Elite Shadows to win this one out here. But again, I'll say these teams have similar rankings in this current season, and seems up and running well. Yeah, let me double check what the teams is going on, because yeah. I'm hoping it's not a 4v5. I'm really hoping someone's just out of the lobby right now. Which one I got, you don't know either teams. I normally don't, unless it's like a really big playoff match. I normally don't like doing predictions, but because you asked, let me look. Let's look at their team skill stuff here. Let's see. Elite Shadows lost their last game 14-5 against Ritual. Stormwatch had lost their last one 14-5 against Brawl 1. Wow. Exactly the same stats here. And it looks like both teams played on Arctic and Shift. This is crazy. Their stats are literally identical. This is going to be kind of hard to predict. This looks fake. This looks fabricated. These two teams have exactly the same stats in this. Granted, it's only one game from last week, but they have the exact same stats in terms of what happened last week. So It's gonna be whatever team practice a little bit more on the maps that they choose. It looks like last week both teams played on Arctic and Ship, and both teams played 9 and 10 rounds on both. Which again, I've never seen two teams come this close in terms of statistics. Hold on, looks like they're gonna be re-hosting servers here. Who would I choose between these two? I'm tempted. I'm tempted to go Elite Shadows, right? Community votes are kind of going in their way. They have similar standings with less team history. I'm kind of tempted to go that way. And that is a very slight edge. We're talking like I'm like 51 to 49 in terms of odds, right? Because again, I've literally never seen two teams come head to head that literally have these same exact stats, which is kind of insane here. Unless the Elite Shadows has 7 players to Storms. It'll be tough, honestly. Like, again, I say that very hesitantly that I might, imagine the community votes to be correct. Because it looks this is as close as you can get in terms of a matchup, right? Someone said they went into overtime for the scrims. Yeah, look, see, like I can see this going into overtime, 1 or 2 maps, if not several maps, right? So it'll be kind of exciting to see. The music is loud. Yeah, I'll move some. I'll change some of this stuff. Community votes got nothing on us. I'm going with the way this community votes. I'm sorry. It's a statistics thing, but again, it's very, very, very slight favor. Because I gotta make a call at the end of the day. I'm not gonna be able to make everyone in the chat happy, unfortunately. But I always love an upset. I will call out that upset every time it happens. So it'll be exciting to see here. At this point, we're still, again, waiting on Elite Shadows. It's crazy because they were so punctual, but now we're waiting on one player from one team. So it's me unfortunate here. And yeah, questions in the chat. Remember, this is VR Master League. Whenever we do an official cast, we always do stream delay. We want to minimize the chance of any stream sniping happening, so we delay a full round so it just doesn't happen. It would be literally impossible to stream snipe. You would have to have the game sense of a god, in order to do so. And the reason we do that is to have that competitive integrity and keep it as good as keep it as well as we can for every single game that we cast here. So definitely a good question in the chat. That is what we do here. And I will say a new rule that people might not be aware of. This season we do allow overtime. So if these teams do go to 6 and 6 on the first map here, they will be allowed to play out overtime here. Looks like they had a full roster rework. Ooh, okay. I don't know. Stormwatch sounded pretty good. They got a full roster rework, 3 new players playing. That can go one of 2 ways, right? Either they don't have that chemistry yet and it doesn't quite work out, or those are exactly the players you needed to elevate the gameplay here. But hey, Soundwave, I will see. We'll see. Hey, man, if Stormwatch starts, killing it, I'm gonna be excited. But anyways, looks like these teams are finally getting started here. And it looks like, of course, we'll be starting on Arctic. Arctic. One of my own favorite maps. I love the visuals here. I mean, talk about, look out here, it just looks amazing. I have it as a background for a lot of my content creation stuff. I'm a fan of Arctic through and through here. But anyways, looks like we'll be having Elite Shadow starting on the defending side against Stormwatch on the attacking side. It can be the first site here. We'll have to see how Stormwatch decides to approach this, as it's going to be a little bit slower of a start here. We're seeing a very relatively conservative defense coming out from the Elite Shadow side. 4 players on site, but I don't know if you noticed early on, I was checking out the roamer on the very top there. So we'll have to see if they do get some value doing this. It will be iffy, but I have seen definitely some very interesting gameplay before. But that roamer is going to be very smart about how they approach this. Anyways, looks like Stormwatch and a lot of shots coming out from both sides here. Nothing quite hitting anyone yet. Chip damage coming out here. Looks like we're already going in for the flank here. Jolly able to get that shot off on Seppi in the back there. And Trenton able to get that plant down. And no one dead yet on the Stormwatch side. That roamer in the back actually ends up getting picked up here at this point. And I mean, talk about, look at this. Trenton trying to go for shots forward does get picked up at this point. Now down to just Slowzy. I mean, what do you do at this point? 1v4 situation. You just got to hold down the EMP. You want to minimize any kills here. They do see Slowzy running around here, but they decide to play it smart and not play it out. But two players might be going in for the pick here as they decide to reach the wall and say, we're going to send it and knock out Slowzy here. As a 3v1 comes in, and man, that is unfortunate, but let's clip that for the Stormwatch players because that is a fun way to finish out the round for them there. But that's got to be terrifying being on the Elite Shadow side as 3 players come barreling down against you there. It's got to be terrifying, but hey, got to give credit where credit is due here. And that's a good start. Stormwatch already getting a win in the pocket there. And, you know, I did say Elite Shadows I had a slight favor towards. But I didn't realize apparently there was a full roster rework for the Stormwatch players. So maybe I need to rescind my votes. But again, this is only the pistol round. We still have another 11 rounds to potentially play out if this goes to overtime. Otherwise, it might be a little bit sooner than that for this first map on Arctic here. Yes. Got some water, of course. You can't go wrong with having water for the cast because, yeah, you know when your throat just dries up and it just kind of hurts a lot. But anyways, who cares about me right now? That Stormwatch is getting ready to reach in on this 3rd floor here. Space again playing aggressive. I've been seeing a lot of aggressive roamers here from the Elite Shadow side. They didn't get value last round, but they might be able to get it this round against QuizWiz. But we'll have to see as that comes in a little bit later on here. Oh, they did get a shot off there on the head. Not able to finish it at Space. This is the 2v1. I might want to pull out if I were you. They decided to send it and get a pick off on QuizWiz. And that is honestly not bad. Not bad for them. Oh, they go for the drop shot there. And that's a 2K now coming out from Space there. I think he decided to peel off and bank those 2 kills. And that's exactly what I would do in that situation. I would just get out of dodge. All right, we have Farah setting up the frag in hand. 4 players on site here. Looks like we have Space in the background. Getting ready to come in to deep frag. Does land. Get some chip damage. And Farah able to get a shot off there. I think some frags coming in here too, but not quite connecting. Now leaving still a 3v4 situation here. Farah does see the extra player there. Now leaving a 3v3 here as things aren't working out for them. Gravity goes in for the swing here on the corner. But Farah somehow finishing that one out. And Space almost getting the pick there. But I mean, check out that health economy there as they're so low. And Space finishing that one out there. I mean, let's give them that replay in the very end. Because I mean, talk about that. That little swing in the end ended up working out for Space as the players were not expecting it on Stormwatch's side. I mean, they're getting picked from both sides at this point, but that 2K finishing it out for Space definitely working out in their favor. And like I said earlier, just because you got the one doesn't mean you got the game. And that was only the first pistol round. So I'm curious to see who ends up winning out the whole series between these 2 teams here. But more importantly, this first map, because it definitely is going to dictate the momentum. And apparently, if these teams are that close, I would not be shocked if this goes to an overtime on map 1. Which, by the way, for me, would be my first overtime casted match in, I don't want to say ever, because we did do overtime matches during playoffs last season. But would be my first overtime during the actual season, right? Because we gotta remember, we did allow playoff matches to have overtime. That was the first time ever for VRML breachers for them to implement that, and I think it worked out well. It saves everyone time. It has a more definitive ending. It's so fun to actually see that overtime round. So I think we're healthier for it, and it's gonna be way more interesting in terms of league matches, because that was one of the downsides of league matches, you can have these ties that didn't really have any conclusion. Whereas playoff matches, that just doesn't happen. They always play that out no matter what. But does not matter here, as we'll be getting started here. Now Stormwatch getting started on the second floor now. We haven't seen them approach the site yet, so it'll be interesting to see how they decide to approach it against the Elite Shadows players. Looks like Elite Shadows deciding to peel everyone back in. No roamers this time around. Maybe to kind of add some variety in terms of their defense style here. I care about you right now, Martini. Thank you, Arrows. Gotta love the chat. You know, definitely some chatty folks tonight. I didn't think we get a good amount of people in the chat, but hey, I'm loving it. I'm loving the interactions. The only complaint I have about chat delay or like stream delay is the fact that I can't interact with chat directly. It takes about 2.5 minutes. But hey, it happens. It's fine. Pregame out there getting a good amount of chip damage, but not much more than that. Slousy goes in for the pick, does get it. EMP isn't planted. That's going to be a hard retake right now for the Stormwatch players, as Elite Shadows has beat several of their players at this point, now leaving only this 2v5. Man with the foot, never mind, turns that into a 2v4 here. As they gotta figure out how to approach it. Zeno goes in. Man with a foot gets another pick here. Somehow, these players are just getting knocked down left and right by Man with a foot, because that foot is apparently working out very well for them, as they already have a 2K this round. Is that a Vezin in hand? Oh, yeah. Man with a foot gets a pick there. Gravity, though, with the refrag at this point. And Quizwiz, I mean, what was going on there? This is the moment I had said Quizwiz should have coordinated, potentially pushed there. I mean, I think they're probably worried about the roamer. And that is not going to work out well for them at this point. I mean, I would consider going for the save. I mean, you're talking 15 seconds. You got to get a 2K right now. Otherwise, you're kind of done. And that round is going to be going to Elite Shadows. In a pretty solid defense. I mean, we saw for at one point it was 4v2 or 3. But I gotta say, Stormwatch trying their best to really claw their way back with only 2 players. But hey, that is still impressive performance by them there. But again, I gotta give credit to the Elite Shadow players able to win it out. But I will say, they are on the defense right now, right? And I think people gotta remember, defense does tend to have a little bit more of a favor for that team. So they got to capture as many points as possible on his first defensive half in order to really make sure they have good standing against Stormwatch when they're starting to attack themselves. I should have got more water. You know, I did not get enough. I just have a single cup's worth. I normally do like a water bottle, but totally fine. I'm doing my best out here. We're surviving. We're surviving. I'm trying my best. Yeah. You know, I haven't solo casted in, I want to say like 5 or 6 months. Like at this point, I think we have enough people on production that we have, you know, a good amount of people that try to cast. Looks like we do have a deep fragment out there. Doesn't quite get much chip damage, unfortunately. Never mind. A Man with a foot able to take on 5 damage, but that's really about it at this point. As it's going to be a slow attack by the Stormwatch players. But Elite Shadow is playing pretty aggressive here. You know, you see is it Slousy? If someone could correct me, let me know. Slousy looks like trying to play aggressive here and force them to have to take this area. As that frag goes in deep. Oh, and that's a good amount of chip damage and takes out the static here. I mean, I would have gone for wall bangs just to hope for the best there, but doesn't matter. Somehow Vera getting across the trip mine, surprisingly, but that works out better for them. I think both teams in a relatively same spot at this point, especially when they kind of had the syringe in hand there for the Elite Shadows players. So it's not a big loss, but a very similar attack here. 5, where's the other? 5 players playing into the site here, coming out from Stormwatch players. But again, we're seeing that conservative defense from Elite Shadows. They decided to peel in. Slousy getting that shot off on Trenton, and that's unfortunate. If Farrah goes for the swing there, does get it. Almost gets picked off there, and I mean, that is crazy. Sebi almost able to finish that one out, and that is tight. Trying to see if we can get a first-person shot here. EMP is down, by the way, so it's going to be unfortunate for them. Man with a foot, really trying to get that corner shot here. Oh, and they do finish it. I mean, talk about man with the foot. I've seen so many picks. Almost worthy. Might be worth saying MVP at this point. Frag coming out there is probably going to be taking out Farah, as that is it. EMP still, by the way, is not planted. Gravity able to finish that one out, but Quizwiz gets that refrag. But still a 1v2 situation here. As they throw in the frag, gets a little bit of chip damage on Gravity. They do finish it out. Now in a 1v1 with Space. I mean, you got to go for the EMP tap, I feel like, at this point. But Space deciding not to give them that much space and peels in themselves. Oh, they're so close. It is head-to-head at this point. We're trading lives for lives. But, I mean, if you're Space, you got to play time. You have the time. But that is a clutch if I've seen one. Remember, they did add in new finishers there. And I think because there's like a big player disadvantage that they got the clutch in the end. And that is unfortunate. I think it was a misplay by the Elite Shadows player. You know, time had been coming down. I would have just drawn it out as much as possible. Unfortunately, it didn't quite happen in the end there, and they did lose that one out. Stormwatch getting another point up. I mean, we have not seen a point differential between these two teams yet, more than 1 point. So they're really fighting neck and neck at this point. Again, I wouldn't be shocked if we see potentially an overtime coming out here. I'm trying to get my posture good. You know, I feel like I'm always slouched over for these casts. You know, I'm too much in the action, just kind of focus on everything going on here. But this should be a little better. I gotta work out that posture. There we go. But here we are starting out again on this second floor here. Ooh. Yeah, second floor here for the Stormwatch players. We did see them attack the site. They weren't successful because, again, I mean, check out the Elite Shadows defense once more. Pretty conservative for the most part, except the one extra roamer. I've been seeing a lot of variety coming out here, and I think they're being very smart about it. Slowzy. Yeah, that makes sense. I was like reading it. It looks like Slowzy. Slowzy. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've seen people have some weird names that are pronounced way differently than I had thought. But we'll see if Elite gets some value here on the second floor, or third floor here from that roaming. But again, Stormwatch taking a little bit of time coming into the side, making sure they don't run into much opposition here. But man, that is going to be a huge headshot on Jolly Rancher there. That's just unfortunate from the wall bang, from the blind fire there. Slowzy gets a lot of chip damage. Already a minute into the round here. Stormwatch has to make some kind of movements. I've noticed they are a little bit slower on the setup here. They got to either speed up their actions or coordinate a little bit better because this keeps happening here. There we go. The breach is finally open, and they decided to finally come in. But, I mean, the reverse. The Molotov comes in, and, oh, Space actually throws in the frag. Gets the 2K, and I didn't even see that. How did they get that? Oh, man. And they all get picked. They all got picked there. I mean, Elite Shadows, that is, I mean, coordination if I have seen it. Someone says Stormwatch is folding. I would hardly call this a fold. You got to consider it's 3-2. At this point, we've almost seen both teams kind of go back and forth. We've seen great plays that work out for one team, and it just doesn't for the other, right? So, I don't know. I don't think game's over till the end. I don't think this is gonna be a wash. Like, look, it's not a wash already. It's 3-2. You know. And I will say the favored team technically it's close. So. Stormwatch either has to have a solid defense or Elite Shadows has to have a crazy attack in order to kind of keep this momentum up on the other half here, right? So we don't know. We don't quite know what's going to happen here until we keep pushing on. But here we are, 6 rounds in. About to go for the second half switch at this point. It's going to be a big deal because whoever wins this one is going to help kind of set up the momentum going forward here. But dare I say, I think Stormwatch, if they win this one out, it'll be giving them a lot better momentum because they'll now be defending themselves. Here we are on the 3rd floor again. I think the last time we were up here, I'm trying to remember who wanted out. I think it was Stormwatch. Again, Stormwatch taking... I don't want to say too much time, but I do want to say it. I feel like they do take a lot of time in some of their setups, right? That's why we end up seeing some of these like really late round pushes. But hey, you know, it does work out. They push around minute and a half, so I haven't seen them play too much under pressure. There was the one round where it was 20 seconds left in a round, but Elite Shadows unfortunately did not utilize that to their advantage. And that's something I'd be saying. You know, if I was the IGL on the Elite Shadow side, you should take note of the fact that they have a long windup and a long setup, and you can use that against them. It looks like they decided to kind of just get it set up and winding here. Sebi going for shots in the back, not quite landing anywhere as they just go for blind fires. Trenton getting a lot of chip damage. That's a frag, I think, being thrown in. Unfortunately, doesn't do much more than that. Trenton somehow still alive. Never mind. Xeno picks it up. And Farrah able to get that refrag themselves here as Man with the Foot comes in. Finally get some shots out in space on the back end there. They got to be careful because space has been a big thorn in the side. And they got a shot off on space. That's going to be vital. But gravity really denying that entrance by them. Oh, yeah, that is unfortunate. The smoke did a great job at holding them back. QuizWiz now waiting to see if someone comes out of that. I'm not sure if they saw that. That was tight. But a 2v1 situation at this point. I think they think it's safe here. But we'll have to see what happens here. Two of the Elite players playing right next to each other. And that makes sense, but they got to split up, right? Because remember, we're playing against Vezins at this point. You don't want to be getting shot by those headshots. This is not a save round. Remember, this is the final. Okay, there you go. I thought they're going in the first save. They come in slowly. They do get gravity. They pick that out here. And that's what I'm saying. They got to be careful. If they have the 2v1, they got to utilize that as best as they can. But Slowzy is being smart about this, forcing them to get the plant and potentially in an unfavorable position. Oh, and they do, and that is a beautiful play there. A beautiful play there. They were not expecting that, and that is going to be a win for the Elite Shadows players at this point as a creep against QuizWiz. And that was just honestly a great way to play. They probably weren't sure where to go, and the time was coming down. And that's what I'm saying. You know, when the time's coming down, they have so much pressure that those sort of things happen, and they make mistakes are made, right? So we'll have to see what happens if Elite Shadows can keep this momentum going. But 4-2 going into their own attacking half, I think it's a pretty solid startup for them there. Stormwatch is, I think, themselves in a pretty solid spot, right? 2 on the attacking half, which is going to be, again, the harder half to have make points on. I think they're in a good spot. Both teams are in a good spot at this point. I would almost argue I think Stormwatch is in a better spot. I think it's easier to get points on defense, right? So we'll have to see. Someone said I'm not rooting for anyone. Dang, at least root for somebody. You know, if you ever come to watch a game, I think you always have to have someone that you're like, I want them to win, right? But here we are, finally, Elite Shadows themselves on their second half now, attacking. And again, I mean, we're seeing a very similar slow wind-up here. 1, 2, 3, 4 players. One of them kind of playing off, potentially checking out and clearing out the staircase here. Probably looking for roamers at this point. But Stormwatch themselves, you know, because we know, we can see the spectator, they're actually playing very conservative. Only extended players, but a little bit aggressive too, right? We're seeing Farrah and Trenton playing a little bit more aggressive in this front area to really hold down Elite Shadows and force them to fight for every inch of this bomb site. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Can they get the pick? Yeah, Trenton gets the first pick. Almost gets the second. There's another pick coming out already there. Farrah goes in for the swing, but gets knocked out themselves. But I think a 2v2 and the health economy changes. That's going to be big. That's going to be big for the Stormwatch defense here. That's a 3v3, but I wouldn't say it's even, to be honest. Oh, and Jolly Rancher gets the pick, decides to swing it. I think it's a little too aggressive. They get the pick. They know there's one more player in here. They decide to swing that too. The space is in the corner and gets picked out. And that is going to be unfortunate for them there. Let me see if I can get that replay real quick for the Stormwatch players. I mean, check this out. We saw Jolly Rancher get the 1K, the one pick in the beginning, goes and swings for the second, tries to find space, but it's fine. The teammates are there to clean it up and make things work out for themselves there. But 3 and 4, I'm telling you, these teams are going neck and neck. I'm expecting almost an overtime at this point. Like, the way this is going, I'm expecting an overtime. All requires them to get 4 and 2 now on the second half. But I wouldn't be shocked if that happened there. Looks like there's an EMP. I hope, yep, someone picked it up. Elite Shadows now coming in off of this loss. I'm proud to see, Stormwatch, do they have anyone buying anything in? We do see at least a couple SMGs coming in here to really buy into this round. And we're sort of seeing a similar thing coming from the Elite Shadows players, sort of. Only one player getting the SMG, but the rest of them deciding to play it a lot more conservative in terms of that economy. But again, wide attacks. I've noticed that Elite Shadow does a little bit more wider of an attack against Stormwatch here. And they normally utilize space very deep in on the corners. But anyways, let's get back to the other side here. The breach finally going live for the A side. Oh, that's a great Molotov coming out there. Fragment out at this point. Gravity sees it, able to dodge it. Unfortunately for these Stormwatch players, not much value, but Tristan gets the pick, gets the 2K, gets the 3K. Do they get the 4K? No, they don't. That's unfortunate. I'm going to get that replay for them anyways, as space is now going to run out of this area. I mean, a 1v5 at this point. Red Shibi, when am I going to cash your match? Honestly, man, I'm so sorry. I've just been so busy, dude. Like, I don't know if y'all noticed, I Valor. Did I not? I thought I casted a Valor match. Did I not? Anyways, looks like space going into the corner here. Gets the pick off on Trinity. They were not expecting that. I mean, talk about cheeky pick. Valor. Did I not? Oh, no, I didn't, because there was another game at the same time last week. I don't know. Maybe this week or next week. I'll have to see. Did Valor get their game scheduled? Oh, I think y'all have a game on Friday. I might have picked that one up, or at least well, the casters were trying to figure out what games we're picking up on Friday, and we might do a split cast again because there's like 2 solid games around the same time. Anyway, space goes in for the pick, able to knock out Farah. These teammates are, oh my goodness, Stormwatch is feeding them 1v1s at this point. They got to work together, but doesn't matter. Man with the foot is there to clean it up. I mean, let's check out this replay from that previous round here. Yeah, this was, I mean, vital. Trenton in the corner there gets the pick off on Gravity, decides to swing it again, gets the second, gets the 3K, gets a lot of chip damage on that last player. I mean, that is a beautiful defensive play if I've seen one. They were not expecting that, and Elite Shadows being knocked out here. And I don't know, I think the community votes are definitely eating their words now, because, again, this is neck and neck, and I did give Stormwatch the favor, on their defensive half here, considering they had 2 rounds in the pocket. I'm sorry, Shibi. It really, look, I wish I could cast every game. I wish. I'm so busy, man. That's what it comes down to. So my schedule, my personal schedule, I try to do 2 or 3 casts a week when I'm in season. This is my first cast this week, so I am picking up a second cast, and I gotta see what's on. I think Friday or Sunday, I might pick up a 3rd cast if I'm feeling bold. So if it's on Friday or Sunday, I might be able to snag it up. And if you get the community votes, because it's been crazy this season. I've been seeing a lot of teams across the ladder getting a lot of community votes, not just the top, top 8, top 10. So it's kind of cool to see now, seeing a lot of love in the community, or maybe people just like having their friends vote for them. I don't know, but it's fun to see. Anyways, we have Elite Shadows getting set up on this attack here. Again, we haven't seen them on this site yet, so it'll be kind of a mixed bag on whether or not they can push this through. I will say Elite Shadows has been struggling against the Stormwatch defense. It has been working out for them better. They have been able to secure these points a lot more consistently. But again, it's only the first 2 rounds. We haven't been seeing any full buys out. I mean, check out both sides. Almost full SMG buys on both teams at this point. So I'm kind of curious what the full buy round's going to look like between these 2 teams. Can they do something? I'm surprised no one went in for a full buy here. You know, I see Man with a Foot 4,600. I see Jolly Rancher. I would have gone in, honestly, potentially, for a full buy. Like, why not go for the Vezin? Why not go for the Marui? Elite Shadow's getting ready for the creature, I think. Someone said it's like Elite Shadows has no IG and they're just trying to kill. Dang, y'all are brutal in the chat. I'm just... You never just want to vibe. Oh, we're going to be seeing actually a switch up here from the Elite Shadows players as they decide to come in on this A side. Frag coming out there. It's probably taking out Slows. You know it isn't, as they somehow take a frag to the face. And, oh, they didn't check it. Quiz gets the pick off, though, and it's still a 3v3. Pretty even in terms of these 2 teams. Space able to get a shot off there and finish that pick. Now a 2v3. But, again, that health economy might be able to play into the factors here. As Slowzy gets out Jolly Rancher, and they've been picking... Oh, Stormwatch lost all of these 1v1s, and that is unfortunate. But, I mean, great play by Elite Shadows there. And, you know, I challenge whoever said in the chat that they don't have an IGL. I mean, that's a solid play they had done there, right? A switch-up play. They kind of did a distraction to really throw things off. And it wasn't just a switch-up. It was a quick switch-up. They immediately attacked for the other one. So I thought they did a pretty good job there. In the end, Elite Shadows realizing that, hey, Stormwatch, even though the community votes are in our favor, Stormwatch is not going to be a slouch about this game, and they definitely, you know, finally seeing some more interesting strategies coming out from them here. So, I know it's 4-5. I still say it's anyone's game because, again, Elite Shadows had the advantage coming into this half here, and it's kind of been a little bit slower of a startup for them. But finally, seeing some full buys coming out here. We're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 full buys on the Stormwatch side. We're seeing an Huracan, which is definitely going to be an interesting buy. I hope they've spent a lot of time using that Huracan. Otherwise, we might be seeing a very quick death there. Unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing the same thing on the Elite Shadow side. Only 2 full buys coming out here. So definitely a severe economy disadvantage between these 2 teams right now. Leaderboard. Yeah, let me pull the leaderboard up. Where is it? There it is. But I know we're in the midst of the round, but let's check out this leaderboard real quick. We're seeing some great picks here from QuizWiz, Farah, on the other side, Space. I mean, definitely a dominant player. 12-4. I wouldn't call it a carry per se, but definitely a strong hold themselves here. It looks like we're going to be seeing, again, another switch up. I think finally Stormwatch playing a little bit smarter this time around, knowing they've done a switch up. They might do it again. Finally see a beautiful 2K coming out from the Stormwatch players. Gravity in the back end, though, getting that refrag, but getting fragged out by the Huracan. I unfortunately didn't catch that, but Sebi goes for the swing, picks up, almost gets the 2K at this point, but players are feeding in there as they threw incendiaries in the exact, never mind, that was an incendiary with a frag, and that is perfectly played out for them there. I mean, talk about vital. Rexial, do you need to be an official caster to cast a VRML match, or just need to go live on this channel? So there's kind of 2 parts to that. You don't need to be. I'll say that you don't need to be an official caster to cast a VRML match. You just need to be a community caster. But official casters do get priority. So if you decide to pick up a game that I'm picking up, I get priority because we're official casters for the league. Do we need to go live on this channel for official cast? Yes. If I'm ever going live for VRML, I will be doing it on the VRML channel. If I'm doing a community cast, it can be anywhere. It can be my own channel, literally anywhere, right? At this point. How do you become an official caster? So if anyone ever wants to become an official VRML caster, you just got to go into the VRML Breachers Discord and apply for it. You will need to have experience, and I say that with an asterisk. You only need a couple, like 3 or 4 casts with experience, so you apply with that, and then there's kind of a whole then there's a training process, right? I don't know if y'all have noticed this season we've had a lot of new faces because we've been, you know, training up finally a production team. But there's a process, right? Because there's a lot of skills that go on behind the desk here. So we've been training them up as much as we can, but becoming stuff like me, where I can be a host caster and play a lot of different, you know, castings on my own if I wanted to. It takes a lot of time and setup and learning how to do everything. But as long as you've done 3 casts, you can apply officially to be a VRML caster. Here we are coming into this 11th round now. 5-5. Again, these teams are neck and neck. Trin getting a shot off on Sebi there, grabbing with the refrag on Farah. They were not expecting that in the corner. Oh, and Zeno gets picked up there. I mean, these players are just getting beautiful picks. And I gotta say, value coming out from Trenton so much. We saw a 3K in one round. That was a vital switch up. Oh, and Trenton gets another pick there. I'm gonna give them that replay because why not? They've been killing it this game. Now in a 4v2 at this point. As it's now between Gravity and Trenton. Gravity getting the pick off there. And the space deciding to go in for the plant. But Jolly goes in for the swing. Oh, and man with the foot. Looks like they got it on the back end there. And that is going to be Stormwatch getting the 6th point at this point. They now are on the upper hand against Elite Shadows. Again, we do have overtime, not Overwatch. Overtime this season. So these two teams, if Elite Shadows does secure the 6th round here, we will be seeing overtime, and my first cast at overtime in season 4. Yep. It's, I don't want to say it's like an interview. There's no interview process, but yeah, everything else Slash said there is correct, right? You have to be able to cast. I recommend in the off season you usually do co-casting. I actually offer my own co-casting services. Like if you want to learn to train up and be a caster, hit me up in the off season. I will gladly let you co-cast a couple games with me and give you that experience. Because I love training people for the production team. I think this season alone, I've trained up, I think, most of our new recruits myself. And eventually move on up. But yeah, you do need 3 casts before you can apply to be a VRML caster. And then usually they're pretty lean. I would say they're pretty lean. They're not like hardcore on it, right? If you have like kind of okay casts, the way we look at it is we'll be able to train you up in the season anyways. But I always recommend people to do it in the off season because unless you want to go be gung ho, do it on your own, totally valid, and then apply. You can do that. It's just a little bit harder. Soundwave, thanks for the cast. You know, dude, I love casting anyone. I think that's one of the favorite things I've experienced in terms of casting. Just the joy, you know, and appreciation from so many different teams and players about, you know, casting their games, regardless of where they stand on the roster, right? What do I do for a living outside of breachers, Frosty? You suck. Whoa, deep frag in there. Does get a lot of shot off on Zeno, and that's gonna be a big deal there. So much chip damage, they decide to swing it. Jolly Ratchet gets the pick, gets to do it. What is that? A 2K with the one-handed, 3K, 4K, almost a team ace there. As man with the foot is gonna be. Wow, that is a pick there. Before we go to the round win here, I'm gonna show this replay real quick. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. No, I had this. Well, hold up, y'all. Before we go next, I'm gonna pull this in. This was a 4K. I'm gonna display the 4K. There's no way I don't display the 4K. I just gotta find the right clip here. Let's play this. Let's see if it does play it. It doesn't. That was unfortunate. I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna play it, guys. Hold up. I'm gonna display the replay here real quick because it was just too good. It was way too good. Let me try it again. Let me see if I can pull it up. No, it didn't show it. It's fine. Anyways, looks like that round one's gonna be going the way of Stormwatch here. And we'll see y'all in a second, right after these ad breaks. Welcome back. As we just saw in that previous matchup, Stormwatch winning it out 7-5. I think these teams are gonna be going in for a switch up here. I'm surprised the clip is not playing here. Let me start playing some of these clips here, because there was honestly some pretty solid clips in that previous matchup here. Let's kind of go through some of the replays we had picked up. Never mind, that one isn't working. Are they not displaying? Sorry, y'all. That is unfortunate. Let me just press this. Kind of weird. Oh, sorry, y'all. I don't know why the clips are not displaying. That is so fun. I gotta love it. That is not fun. Sorry. I don't know why it's not showing right now. Normally it's not like this. Oh man, this is not fun. Sorry, y'all. I don't know why the replay thing just broke. It just broke on me. It was just working in that previous matchup. I think I realized I can never do this mid-game. That is not gonna be fun. Anyway, sorry about that, y'all, but I did want to hop back in. I know the teams are finally setting up here and switching real quick. But I did see a lot of questions tonight. I don't know why there's so many questions tonight, but I did want to get them answered. What I do for a living? I just work in tech, nothing too crazy. I saw you, Frosty Saucy. Rexy also. If my friend becomes a community caster and goes live on his channel, again, community casters have to go live on their own channel, but they can cast any match, theoretically, if they don't get picked up by an official caster. Only official casters, only official VRML casters can cast on the VRML channel. Yeah. Someone said, I want my cast match. Sorry, again, casting just comes down to just availability. You know, I wish it was different than that, but it's really nothing more. But anyways, it looks like we are going to be getting started on this map too here. We'll be starting on a ship at this point. Trying to read through these comments. Oh man, y'all had so many comments here. But I think I answered all the questions. Yep, that should be all the questions here. But here we have Stormwatch again, starting on Elite Shadows here. Again, if you have any questions about casting, just DM me or ask in the League Gen or League questions in the VRML Breachers server. I will gladly ask it. I will try my best to answer questions on cast, but we do have the cast going on, right? And I gotta go with that first. But it's totally fine here. But we finally have Elite Shadow starting this attack here. Again, Stormwatch being on defense, they want to secure as many round wins here as possible. We do have the drone coming in here. It doesn't get too much value. Didn't see anyone, but they did clear off a lot of sites here. It'll be interesting to see man with a foot though on the top end here, playing that deep roamer, that deep pocketed roamer. We'll see if they get some value there, or if it's gonna be a wasted player. Oh, some great damage there from the Molotovs. They do finally go in. Slow Z and Sebi getting that shot off on the flanker there, but they do get the EMP planted, and that's gonna be a great start here for the Elite Shadows players. Looking a lot different than last round. Ferry gets a pick off on Slow Z. And Gravity knocks out the Roamer on the back in their space. Getting a shot off on Farrah. Can he go for the 2K? Decides to rotate left here. Swagger Soul gets a pick off themselves. Now coming down just Quiz Wiz in a 1v4 situation. And I think it's going to be coming down to time here as Quiz Wiz will not be able to retake site in time as that counter is coming down slowly. It'd be interesting, you know, if this game was kind of like, what is it, like Valorant, where you had to like escape the site if the EMP goes off. That'd be kind of fun to see. Would make it very interesting in terms of holding down right in the very end. But doesn't matter. Elite Shadow's getting their first round win here on ship. They do have that win, but again, it's only pistol round. We got to see how they hold it down in the upcoming rounds here. Yeah, I'm just so upset. I had a great, it was, oh man, let me see if I can get Let me see if the replay is just working in general, honestly, because I'm upset that it wasn't. Okay, it's working. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened in the previous round. Didn't work there for some reason, but it's totally okay. We persevere and we move on. Hardest thing about casting is camera management. Honestly, yeah. I will say, I think that, don't get me wrong, if you look me up 2 years ago and casting, I'm not as good as I am now. I feel like I'm a lot better in terms of talking, but I feel like anyone can talk, honestly, given enough time and practice. Camera management, I still struggle with. Like I'm going on 2 years of casting officially for VRML, and I still mess up camera angles. I still mess up so many different things because it requires you to predict, which requires what is going on in the back end there. Prime, where were they? Decides to go for the 2K at this point. Decides to not commit at this point, but yeah, see right there, it's so much action going on the screen. Sometimes it's hard to capture. How do you capture? Do you do first person, third person? You have to predict. If you want the best, shot, you want to also predict. If you're doing first person, you want to predict who's gonna win an engagement, right? If it's a 1v1, it requires It requires a lot of good game sense, honestly, and also camera sense, and just understanding of angles. As Slowzy decides to swing in with the 2 players in and knock them out, and that is a frag that unfortunately goes nowhere. At this point, both teams have traded 4v4. Let's get on the back end. We have man with a foot, about to run into a couple folks here, get some good chip damage, but not much more than that. Slowzy's here, goes in for the swing, gets the pick in the end, and now this is a 4v3 right now between these two. Elite Shadows has to hold down a position, as it looks like Stormwatch is playing aggressive. They're coming in here. I don't think they're expecting gravity in the staircase area there, though. Man with a foot decides to swing, gets the damage, gets picked off, and you got to be careful. I got to tell Stormwatch, you got position. You don't got to play aggressive. You had the player advantage. I would have played it a little bit smarter there, unfortunately. A side is actually open as they go. Elite Shadows again. It goes in for this the switch up, and I don't think Stormwatch is ready for this. Oh, and Gravity gets the pick off on the end there. Now coming out just Prime, Buzz, and Space. They swing and get the pick off on Space. Prime goes for the top here. But that is it right now. It's still a 1v2. But that health, if they play this right, they can do this. But they got to be very, very smart about how they approach this. Besides going for the bait, gets the pick. Now it's just against Swagger. Swagger still gets the pick. Is that enough, though? I think it is. I can hear the counter, and that is going to be a great finish for the Stormwatch players. I thought they were about to lose it right there in the end, but it doesn't matter. Prime Buzz gets that 2K, and that is a clutch up if I've seen one. And again, I love that Triangle Factory added in the new little finishing tags, right? It said clutch now instead of just one, or I forgot what it said. But it does say clutch now. I think ace, team ace. So it's kind of cool to see. Again, I love Triangle Factory still adding features to the game and doing such a good job with it. It won't make sense if offense doesn't plant. Since offenses, I will say, yeah, with the lore behind it, right? It's funny. Technically, the bomb's been planted already. So the attacking team is here to defuse. But that was the decision they made. It could have just been like CS:GO, right? Where the attacking team is planting, right? I think maybe it was to make it simple. To be honest, I think it would be cool though. There's like some EMP effect. Like that would be such a cool feature if you're within the site and the EMP goes off. It'd be cool if like there's some EMP effect or something. But yeah. Anyways, I mean, we got a 1-1 here now between these two teams again, going head to head as we saw in that previous map. 7-5. It was a close matchup. I'm kind of curious, can they keep this closeness up or not? As Elite Shadow is now getting ready to attack site here. We're seeing a lot of utility coming out from the Stormwatch players to really slow down this attack by the Elite Shadows players. Space on the back end there, just watching for any roamers. I think that, oh, a 2-push comes in, but Farah able to finish that up and pick it up. Now a trade, sort of. Yes, it is a trade now. Elite Shadows with a 3v3 situation. Quizwiz gets a pick up on Gravity, though. Doesn't matter. As Farah on the back end gets the finish, gets the 2K. And they're probably going to win that one out. Let's give them that little quick replay. And that is a great one to finish up here. I mean, look at this defense. Strong, solid defense coming out from the Stormwatch players. And I got to give credit to Farah. I mean, I wasn't sure if they're going to be able to win that one out, you know, against the Elite Shadow player earlier. They got so much chip damage, but talk about win. And it looks like they also won a thrifty win there. The Stormwatch players had less cash than the Elite Shadows players. Blue Bob. I'm alone. I'm so alone right now. Blue Bob. You know, it's fine. I get it. You're busy. I get it. But it's fine. You know, as much as I love duo casting, even trip casting, now we have so much triple casting this season. I got to give love to solo casting. You know, it's where I started. All right, I started solo casting for a lot of VRML matches back in season 0, dude. You know, it's kind of crazy to look back on that. What if one of the players is just watching the stream? Again, just a reminder, with the official cast, and I think everyone that's casting any breachers, especially league match, you should always have your stream delay set to 2.5 minutes, so there is no stream sniping. Here we are. I mean, look at this Elite Shadows attack here. They're all coming in together on the second floor. Looks like they'll be playing a floor down. But, I mean, look at Stormwatch playing the exact same method. 3-3, by the way. Remember, 1, 2, 3. 3 players playing as roamers here. I mean, talk about aggressive defense if I've seen one. I mean, Slowzy on the back end here might be running into a player pretty soon. This is going to come down to time. I think Man with a Foot is about to get knocked out really soon here. Oh, and the timing is insane. I think they might have caught him. It's hard out. I'm like, do I follow the roamers that are going to fight Slowzy? See, this is one of the hard things about camera management, right? Do you follow the deep roaming where there's action that's going to potentially happen? Or do you wait and switch to the other side? Quizwiz aware now that Slowzy got the pick off and decides to bank that one and peel off. Quizwiz, though, on the refrag, gets that picked up, and on the back end, their prime buzz. I mean, talk about roamers with a vision here. At this point, Elite Shadows just kind of needs to push it because there's only 2 players on site. And I think they got a little smart here as they know to play it. They got the pick off on Jolly Rancher. Now a 2v2, but we're going to be seeing a retake by these Stormwatch players. If I was Elite Shadows, I would be screaming, go for the plant. You have the site. Go for the plant. You have the site. No, they decide to play it out. As Prime Buzz gets a 2K, and oh my goodness. I mean, talk about fumbling it. I mean, you know, y'all heard me screaming in that previous round, right? It was just they had sight, you had EMP, just go for it. Like worst case, even if you lose, you got the plan, you got the extra 200 credits in hand for everybody on your team. By the way, you gotta just go for those secured points when you can. I think they just overplayed that, unfortunately, and that's a problem I do see sometimes, right? Where people kind of overplay around, where they can't, you know, try to do too much, or they're not time wasting as much, right? You should be careful about doing too much. It allows you to run into mistakes and allows the other team to work against you, right? You don't want to have to do things unless either you're forced or it's advantageous for you to take. So many casters yet no one casts Koi versus F3. Hey, we are trying to figure out who to cast. I think it's Friday, right? That Friday game. We're trying to figure these things. Real ones know the Martini lore. Yeah, if you've been here since day one, you know the lore. I have been in the game for a second. Quizwiz, seeing it, gets the pick up, but the refrag comes in from Swagger Souls. Oh, never mind. Oh, Farah on the back end there did not catch that. As they almost get that pick off on Swagger Souls. Now a 3v3. I mean, what is going on here with the Elite Shadows players? I mean, they're getting picked off by Stormwatch. They're not even on site yet. They're getting picked off on the outskirts of this map. I'm waiting to see. Are they going for roaming again? No, they decided to peel to site. Smart play by the Stormwatch players. You know, this is looking better for Stormwatch. They're looking really, really in form right now. I mean, again, they're giving so much fear to the Elite Shadows players. They can barely get onto the map without getting picked off at this point. But it looks like we are going to be seeing a hatch play from Gravity right on the B side here. So frag goes in, Molotov coming out here, really denying those plants. Farah somehow still swings, gets the pick off, denies the EMP plant for now. And it looks like they try to throw the frag, but it's not going to land anywhere. As Gravity does get the plant off. Oh, and Jolly Rancher, I mean, talk about ring around the rosy here. We're going to be seeing an EMP finish out there, and talk about another replay. You know, Elite Shadows, I mean, dare I say, now I'm not gonna call them, you know, say they're selling or anything, but there's so many plays, right, we've seen where they're just not quite working out. The 1v1s are losing. You know, I saw a lot of smack talk against the Stormwatch players, right? Elite Shadows, again, if you remember, community votes was like 30 to like 7 or some big number like that, and I saw, who was it, the Stormwatch captain in a chat saying that they had changed up the roster, and you know, they're having a lot of players coming in here. So what does it say about Stormwatch that this is close? That they're doing a good job, right? They are technically the underdog here. They are the ones expected to lose. It wasn't even close in terms of community votes, but good job, honestly, from the Stormwatch players in the last 4 rounds here. But I will say, we are also on the defensive half for them. This might just be a side difference at this point. We got to see the same performance coming out from Stormwatch on the attacking half. I'm skipping homework to watch this. I blame you. You know what? I always recommend do your homework, dude, because this cast is always going to be here. You can always come back, reference it later. I love that you're here for casting. I love that you're in the chat talking with me. I appreciate the love, but you got to do your homework, man. I'd skip homework for Martini. Bob, do your homework. You should do your homework too. Y'all need to do your homework. This cast is always here. You can always come back later, y'all. You don't have to watch it live. Oh, as that is an unfortunate Molotov by Sebi. Quizwiz comes in, gets the pick off on the EMP. Doesn't matter. Space is there for the refrag, but it's still a 3v3. The EMP is down, by the way. So Elite Shadows does have to retake. Man with a foot, man with a vision, and man with a shot, apparently. As they get the pick off, doesn't matter. Gravity gets a pick off on them there. Now is a 2v2 between these two teams. Frag going in deep there. Doesn't get any chip damage, unfortunately. Slowsy does catch Farah in the corner as they're not going to be dancing and ringing around the rosy there. It's really anyone's game at this point still. It's a minute and a half in a round. Sorry, a minute into the round, a minute and a half left. It's still possible to win this one out, though, for the Elite Shadows players. But it's going to be an uphill battle. Are they going to go for another switch up here? That's my guess. We saw them do several switch ups several times. Has the best game sense. I have okay game sense. I will say though, my game sense did get better, honestly, after oh, Gravity goes for the swing, gets the pick off on Jolly Rancher. This is now a 2v1. This is honestly winnable. Farah having to deal with Slowsy in the corner. He decides to go for the swing, but Gravity is cracked and gets the drop shot in the end there. I will say, casting a lot though, you do get a little bit better game sense because you see what teams tend to do. The hardest part though about having the game sense is, can you do it? Can you execute? Do you have the mechanical skill to do it in game, and that's the challenge. I don't play breachers as much anymore. I made the joke I technically cast breachers now more than I play the game, which is kind of funny. But it's a cool thing. I will say, like, it's cool to see all these plays. It's cool to like really take it in and understand what they did, you know. And I think that comes also from my own experience, right? I played competitively with my team in VRML for like 2-3 seasons, right? Like I had fun being a player, but I have so much more fun being a caster. I'd skip homework for the entire casting team. That's awesome. Y'all are too nice, and I love the chat tonight. What's going on? Y'all got so much love. So much love. They're copper. They're no. These are silver teams, y'all. Come on. How did nobody pick Stormwatch? Anyways, a lot of fun in the chats right now. But Stormwatch starting off 4-2. Not a bad start. But they're now attacking. They gotta be able to keep that same momentum, that same energy up in order to win this one out. Again, we have Space playing kind of that aggressive roamer as we'd seen from Elite Shadows in the previous couple maps. Sorry, previous map. I guess a frag fake. The homework will always be there. Don't bother. No, I didn't say that. I said the homework. Do your homework. Oh, man. The breach going live here on B side. Space decides to swing in. Gets the frag. Pick there. Space running out there. Tries going for the reshot himself. Doesn't finish it out. But Sebi here. Someone's got to help. Man, what the fuck? He's going to get shot. Someone help him out. As he gets shot, but he able to get the refrag. Doesn't matter. The refrag happened on the back end there. But, oh, where is it, Slowzy? Finishing it out there. And again, remember, you want to cover your teammates. You want to cover your teammates when they're planting. Otherwise, that is what's going to happen there. Someone's going to go for the swing, and they're just going to get picked out. Remember, they got to cover, right? Like, EMP plants can be great. They can add a lot of pressure, but you don't want to lose it, you know, lose a whole player just to get a plant down. And this is where I'm wondering what's going to happen. Elite Shadows is on the defensive half themselves now on the second half here, right? So we saw this happen last map. Stormwatch got that second half defense, and they just locked it out. Are we going to see the same thing from Stormwatch, right? Sorry, from Elite Shadows here. Stormwatch needs to get 3 more rounds to win it out. 2 more to go for the overtime. So let's see what happens here. I'm wondering. I'm feeling like it's a side difference, right? Elite Shadow again. It's only one pistol round. I'll give you that. But this could lead to a great momentum switch up by the Elite Shadows players because they're gonna need it. I mean, 3 and 4. They're still down, but they want to capture as many points here. Anyway, Stormwatch getting set up again for this 3rd floor attack. Not again, for the first time in this series. On this 3rd floor here. Frag coming in there. That's a beautiful frag. Gets a lot of chip damage, but not a finish, unfortunately. I do say, I feel... Oh, and Prime doesn't die somehow. I don't know if Slowzy's... No. Oh, no. Slowzy sees Sparrow. Gets the pick off. Oh, and that's a beautiful frag by Gravity there. And another Molotov coming out there. Prime, I don't know how they're alive with 13 health. But, I mean, do you, man. Do you. Because somehow they're not dead here. As Gravity gets a pick off with the Omen there. EMP, by the way, has been planted. But it's now stuck to the wall. Not planted, but it's been put on the wall. So they have to retake site and then go for the EMP plant. So this is definitely an unfortunate situation for the Stormwatch players. And Prime Buzz is technically just stuck in that corner now. I mean, you're talking a couple health in hand. There you go. Swagger Souls finishes that one up. Now coming down and just Quiz Wiz in the very end here. And this is what I'm saying. This might be a side difference here because Elite Shadows has been just straight destroying Stormwatch at this point. I mean, 4 players up. Check that out. 4 players on the left side there against the 1 on the Stormwatch side. Uh, who do I think is gonna win the grand finals this season? I don't know, honestly. There's just way too many like variables right now. I saw Ling is doing pretty good as the team, so I think Ling is definitely a top 8 contender. I'm kind of curious to see what they do because we saw some good performances from them. I was kind of shocked, not shocked, but like I just haven't seen them in a second, right? So it's kind of cool to see. When Martini drinks before game time, he goes crazy mode and can one swing. Nah, I'm terrible. I'm not gonna talk about drinking on cast, but I can talk about during one of our recreational casts that we do on Saturdays. Which, by the way, I think we're doing a recreational cast this Saturday with the Gravy team. So we'll see what happens. Martini cast Bob. Well, that'd be fun. Looks like they go save. That makes sense. I would do that too. Would I cast someone's funeral? I would. If they put it in their will, I would do it. I would do it. I think I would do it. If someone said you had to can you please cast my funeral? I think I would do it. Out of respect for them and their family. It would be very interesting. But I would do it. I would do it. But I mean, 4-2 curse, potentially we're looking at here at this point. Stormwatch, again, had the advantage 4-2 against Elite Shadows, but they're now attacking. And I gotta say that Elite Shadows defense is looking very prime right now. They've been able to hold back Stormwatch. It's been a rough game right now, at least second half for the Stormwatch players. We haven't seen a really solid attack yet by them. And I'm getting a little worried for them. Right, they gotta get 2 more to at least allow themselves an overtime. Otherwise, I could see Elite Shadows going all the way with this momentum because they're on fire right now. But I will say, we're only seeing 2 buys come out, which still gives them a slight advantage towards these Stormwatch players. We see 0 buys on their side. Very wide attack again from Stormwatch. It's kind of like this 3-2 attack we're seeing here, or 2-2-1 even. Dare I say? They're really taking their time this round. I'm wondering what the IGL calls are saying. Oh, they decided to swing, and that is unfortunate. Slowsy gets a 2K on the end there. I thought that might have been more successful. Caster 1v1 tournament. That would be funny. I think it'd be Gravy who wins. I think because Gravy should be the best. Or Pillow is pretty solid. I think it'd be Gravy in the end. He's one of the more consistently playing top tier players that also cast. But Gravy actually hasn't casted this season, so I don't know if he would be considered a caster this season. Would be kind of funny. Rexy, read my question. I can read your question, Rexy. What did you? The chat keeps moving, man. You gotta repost it, but I don't read things. That is shocking. Now the Slowsy gets picked up by Jolly Rancher as now the Stormwatch players come barreling in at this point. Oh, but doesn't matter. Gravity on the back. I didn't even see Gravity. Gravity on the back in there. Gets the pick off. Knows where Quizwiz is. And again, it's Elite Shadows. Dare I say, defense is elite for sure as they've been holding down Stormwatch. And it is not going well for them. Where's Quizwiz? Just gonna be camping. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, we're gonna be seeing this countdown in the last 15 seconds here. And again, another expert. Look, check out that Elite Shadows defense again. 4 players up, and I keep saying this when I see 4 or more players, 3 or more players up there. I say, never mind, it's only 3 now, but 3 or more players alive on the whatever side won. That is, I think, a dominant round, what I say, right? Because that means that they had survived so well and beat them so well in that round. But I'm waiting to see. Stormwatch has to do something here. They have to do something else. Otherwise, I think we might be going to a map 3. We might be going to a map 3, like, to be so real right now. As Stormwatch is struggling to secure any round wins on the second half here. Elite Shadows, again, is rushing towards a 7-4 at this point. We haven't seen them lost yet, I believe, on the second half. They've won the last, I want to say, three rounds here. So they're definitely on a hot streak right now. And I'm getting a little worried. I'm getting a little worried for these Stormwatch players, man. I don't know if they can do it. I'm getting nervous. Where's the cat? Who's in the chat, right? Who's on hiatus or whatever? You gotta tell your team to kind of lock in here. It's looking a little rough. Slowzy again holding this really aggressive angle against Stormwatch players as 3-4 players come barreling in. Slowzy gets picked up, and unfortunately that is a bad play by the Elite Shadows players. Looks like Stormwatch is deciding, let's pick the speed up as they are coming in fast to attack pretty soon here. Molotov is going to be denying entry here. Frag come out there. Man with the foot takes it to the face. And it looks like the Molly does come out. We got to see that angle hold. Sebi decides to go for the swing. Gets picked up. Do we see another player in the back end there? Space coming in on the back end there. Swagger gets that pick up though. Quiz with the frag in the back. And the Space gets picked up by Prime Buzz. And wow, look at those Stormwatch players. Several of them with no health in the hand here. Coming down to just Swagger souls at this point. Waiting to see what's going to happen here. Can't see! Oh, I can't see with the smoke. It doesn't matter. Jolly Rancher finishing that round out. I mean, this is 5-5 now. Stormwatch finally breaking the 3-round win streak that was coming out from the Elite Shadows players. This is still anyone's game. You know, finally we're seeing Stormwatch winning on the attacking side here. We got to see them recover. We got to see them get a couple more rounds in the pocket to win this one out and win the series early. Otherwise, again, I wouldn't be shocked if we had an overtime. I wouldn't be shocked if we went to a map 3 because Elite Shadows has been putting in work. I'm not going to lie. They have been putting in some great work here. What time is it? 9? Oh, wow. Putting in some great work here against the Stormwatch folks. Sorry, I'm like trying to keep my eye on chat and whoa, people are calling me now. That's fun. Anyways, I mean, talk about what we'd seen that previous round here. Stormwatch players finally getting a round win. Someone said 7-4. Like I said, the script doesn't lie. Unfortunately, the script was given to you incorrectly at this point, it looks like. Space trying to go for the pick here. Gets a pick off on Man with the foot. That's going to be a big pick there. Let's check out the scoreboard. I'm kind of curious to see what's going on here. Quiz Wiz 7-4. Prime Buzz 10-3. I mean, Gravity, check that out. 3-3. They've been putting up numbers if I've seen that before. I thought Space honestly would have more kills on it. I swear I saw Space get so many kills. Is that right? Oh, and that is an unfortunate frag throw. They could not make it. Space decides to go for the swing. Gets the 1K. Again, peels off. Jolly Rancher sees him. Goes for the pick themselves. But it's still a 2v4 situation here. Doesn't matter. Jolly Rancher decides, run it back again. They got another pick there in the end. Still a 2v2 though. I'm waiting to see what Quiz Wiz is going to do. They got to do something here. They got to come in and help out their player because at this point it's Jolly Rancher against the team. We're going to need some better coordination here. Oh, Jolly Rancher gets the pick on the end there. Quiz Wiz trying to come in. Can't kill the static though. Oh, they weren't ready for that, and both players get picked up at this point. Oh, man. That's tough. That's tough. Can I help you get unbanned in VRML? Unfortunately, I'm not a mod. I cannot do that. I cannot help you with those sort of things, but I can cast a game. Here we go, though. Elite Shadows securing that last win, 6-5. They're on match point at this point. Stormwatch has to win this. They have to win this, otherwise we'll be going to a map 3 here, and it's still anyone's game at this point, right? We played on Arctic, we played on ship. I'm trying to think, what would I imagine the last game to be? We went to a map 3. I feel like we would play on Dam. I feel like they would pick Dam over Hideout for some reason. Or wait, what were the two? It was, oh yeah, it was like they banned Mall, and Factory. Yeah. Flash coming out here, I'd be nervous for Space. But we saw Space get so many great picks. That were like surprise picks. Oh no, they decided to throw in the frag. Oh, and Jolly Rancher almost able to catch them on the run there. Prime Buzz getting a beautiful frag in the end there, but Space able to knock out Farah on that side angle. It's an even trade at this point between both teams, but Stormwatch again has to come in and attack his Elite Shadows. Never mind, Space gets another pick. Oh man, with the foot. I think they, at this point they have this angle set down. Quizwiz though gets a pick themselves, as teams have been trading basically 1-for-1 at this rate. Oh, never mind! The Stormwatch gets the 3K somehow from their team there. I mean, let's get the replay real quick. I was kind of shocked here. We had seen such good defense, but check out the picks on the top there. We saw the, 2 players on the other side get the pick, and I think Prime Buzz, and then a finish there in the end by the Stormwatch player, which, by the way, I wasn't expecting it. I thought we were going to a map 3 for sure, because they have been struggling on this defense here, or sorry, on this attack against Elite Shadows defense. But it doesn't matter here, as Elite Shadows looks like they are going to be choosing the second site again. Not second site, but they'll be choosing defense. And it looks like they'll be assigned a second site here. I don't think we've seen Stormwatch win on a second site, so this might be a bad RNG for them. But doesn't mean Stormwatch can't win this one. But again, this is going to be a clean start, right? Both teams now having the same exact economy. And Sebi, I hope they remember to buy their gun. They better buy that gun pretty soon, because if they play with the Jesper, oh, did they forget to get their gun? Oh man, that is unfortunate. I hope someone else has a second gun, and that is, I did not just watch someone not buy a Vezin for an overtime round. But it doesn't matter. Let's not overanalyze the economy here. Let's just see what's going on with straight gameplay. But look, 1, 2, 3 roamers here. Elite Shadows has to be very careful with how they play this. If they overplay the roaming hand and they realize Stormwatch might be able to just come in, run, and get a win here. They just need to commit and win this one out. No frags coming out here. That's going to be a clean EMP plan. And that is going to be now a retake coming out from these players. Space gets the 2K. I'm going to get that replay real quick. But Fair, never mind. Swagger gets to pick off themselves. Frag going live. Gravity gets the pick. Now coming out is just Fair on the outside here. But doesn't matter. They go for the EMP defuse. And man, things have not worked out. They're going for the pick. They got the pick. They're going for the second. And unfortunately, Gravity there to shut them down. I mean, let's get that last. They have a replay. Let me see if I can pull it up. I mean, this was a good start for the Stormwatch players. And then Space, I mean, oh, I didn't get it on camera there, but Space able to get the 2K in the end there. And that is me a great finish for them here. But Shadows going to win this one out. So we'll be going into Astro for great. To bring us back in, we're not going to hop into the pregame analysis. Looks like I did get picked by the teams. They are going to be taking a 10-minute timeout. So if y'all need to take a pee break, go to the restroom, or get some water and refreshen up, this is the time to do it. I will see y'all back, and I'll probably put a timer for like 9 minutes. We can top in a little bit before then, but I'll see y'all back in 9 minutes.
Prepare to start.
Baron left alive. Where is Baron? In the spawn. And somebody
Spud in the bottom going absolutely crazy, getting the 2K.
Match point. Prepare to start.
Baron left alive. Where is Baron? In the spawn. And somebody
Spud in the bottom going absolutely crazy, getting the 2K.
Match point.
All right, looks like the teams did pull in a little bit earlier, and man, talk about me being a fortune teller again, because it looks like, hold on, let me tell these teams are good to go. Looks like we are going to be going into a dam, of course, because I can apparently see the future and I know the script. Damn. I mean, talk about an interesting map, right? Introduced the last season, season 3. I'm losing track of seasons at this point because you've been playing so many seasons at this point. For me, at least, we've been here for a hot minute, right? But Dam has been interesting, right? I've been seeing a lot of mixed results on this map. Some teams seem to love it. Some teams seem to be very mixed about it. I do think I tend to see more general good vibes for Dam, which is good. But I'm excited to see what's going to happen here, because we are going to be starting off on the first floor here in Stormwatch again on their own defensive half, which I think is going to be a very interesting play by them, right? I think if I were them, I would have done what they had done in map 1, which is be attacking and then defense, because they secured it very, very well in that second half here. Whereas, Elite Shadows, when they were on the second half defending, they did the same thing. They held it down themselves and did a really, really good job here. But looks like Elite Shadows doing the same thing they did last map, and they're going to be playing the side of attacking first here. And going for sort of an off-meta push here as they decide to breach a B, which is actually be a perfect counter. Never mind, as a Man with a Foot and Prime decide to come in. Frags are coming out there. Man with a Foot does get that pick off on Slowzy. And Swagger Souls is going to be waiting on the back end there. Breach going in live here. The Jolly Rancher does get picked off. Swagger Souls gets the pick, but they know someone else is up there. And then now comes down to just Farah. They do finish that one out there. It's a 2v2 at this point, but that health economy is not going to be doing them any favors. Doesn't matter. Man with the Foot gets picked up, and Farah gets the second. Oh, man, that is nasty if I've seen that. A rough start for Storm. I don't know if y'all noticed, they actually had, I think, 2 or 3 deep roamers that didn't quite work out in their favor. They did get picked off pretty well, or at least a lot of chip damage on them in the end, and it didn't get too much early value from them. But in the very end, able to come through and scrape down that win. And I gotta say, that doesn't bode well, I think, for Stormwatch, right? They had such a rough first round. They kind of cobbled together a win on defense. I'm wondering, how is the rest of the defense going to be going? Are they going to be able to hold, a strong defense against the Elite Shadow players, or is it going to be a little bit rough? And I'm kind of curious to see how Elite Shadows approaches their attack from this point forward. I call it what I say. I called it too, man. I guess everyone called Dam, It looks like it was the map choice. I was hoping for Hideout, honestly, which is so funny now because I don't see it as much. I see it consistently, but I'm used to seeing it like all the time. So part of me misses seeing Hideout so much. Is that weird? But hey, who cares? I love a good Dam. But Swagger Souls getting ready to approach this window here. I'm waiting to see how they run into Jolly Rancher. They have an Omen in hand versus Jolly Rancher's Spectral. This has got to be perfect timing. Oh, they finish it out in the end there. But it doesn't matter. Stepping for the refrag in the end. And Theba themselves, unfortunately, gets picked off by Space. And this is going to be a rough start. Disadvantage already for the Stormwatch players as they're down 2. Looks like were we already here? I'm confused. No, this is only map. No. We were a floor down. I don't know why I felt like we've been here already. I'm tripping right now. I'm imagining like another cast, I guess. Anyways, deep frag Molotov, Street Molly going in there, doesn't quite make any contact. I think Quizwood is definitely smart that there might be an opening coming out from Gravity on the side there. As it looks like Elite Shadows is trying to hit both sides. at this point. Oh, instead he gets the pick there. Gravity goes for the swing and barely survives it. Now in a 1v4 situation, Prime Buzz is going to be dealing with an uphill battle here. I'm almost tempted to say go in. I don't want to say go for a save. Never mind. Don't even go for it. It's a Spectral. Just send it. You're going into round 3. You got to just get as many picks as you can. Oh, man. And that peeker, that quick peek, unfortunately, doesn't work out for them. As now it's just time. This is perfect time wasting, you know what I say. Yeah, I don't know. This is tough. I say send it. I say send it as hard as you can. That's got to be irritating. Gravity has 1 health. One health in hand and somehow has been dodging, you know, Prime Buzz so expertly. But that is going to be a round going the way of Elite Shadows. Did I see that? Yeah, Elite Shadows. As that plant does succeed for them in the end. Can I adopt you? I'm sorry. I don't know if I want to adopt any people right now. I'm good where I'm at. I like hanging out at the house alone. You know, how can I do so many casts if I adopted someone? It'd be so complicated, you know. I only do like 2-3 a week. What's considered a good amount of casts per week? 2 or 3? I think that's a good number, considering I'm also busy in real life. Because I could also only do 1, but I don't want to do that. I want to, you know, do as many as I can, but it's totally fine. I think this is the first cast I've had this season that has gone to 3. I think most of my casts have actually finished in 2, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I think in most of my casts this season I finished in 2, which is kind of crazy actually. But here we go into the upcoming 3rd round here, as Stormwatch trying their best to claw their way back and upset the community votes here. Elite Shadows, on the other hand, trying to secure their as many round wins as possible while they're on the attacking half. Let's check out the economy here. Looking better for the Stormwatch players, but only marginally so. They do have a full buy and an all real, but we're also seeing a lot of good buys. Sorry, just 2 buys actually. So a little slight favor for Storm. But I will say I have been seeing these Elite Shadow players consistently winning these 1v1s, even with the disadvantage. Oh, Swagger Souls in the end able to knock out Farah there. That Omen does not do well in a deep hallway. As the frag comes out there, gets a little bit of chip damage, able to finish off Prime Buzz, and that's a SQ frag if I've seen one. As space on the back end, probably looking for roamers at this point, but this conservative defense is not going to be allowing the roamer to get much value. Time is counting down here. Prime Buzz does get picked up by Slowzy in the corner there as Sebi goes in to check for checks. Oh, Quizzy gets a shot off on them. Jolly Rancher decides to swing it, gets the pick off on them. They decide to go for the second, gets the second pick in the end there. Now it just comes down to space in the end. Oh, a man with a foot is a man with a vision as they pick that one out there, and they were not expecting that. Let's get that replay though from this current round here. I was like, are they going for the EMP plant? Yeah, they are. Defuse. All right. But yeah, let's pull up this replay. A solid push by Jolly Rancher there, understanding that, hey, the plant is going off. I should go for the swing. Gets the 1K, gets the 2K in the end. And that is going to be a game-changing play there by Jolly Rancher. I barely get hideout in ranked anymore. Really? That's crazy. I feel like I regularly get, when I do play ranked, I do regularly get hideout. I'm kind of shocked. I'm kind of shocked by that. That's crazy. Anyways, we have Elite Shadows here now on their own back heel as they lost a round now to Stormwatch here. But again, we're only a couple rounds in. Both teams, the economy is looking healthy. Stormwatch is finally recovering really well. Only one player not able to get a full buy in hand. You know, if I were man with a foot, I would consider buying, you know, never mind, Peter the bot comes in as one of the players accidentally drops, and this would be unfortunate if they can't get back before the round start here. Cast on my same setup when I'm busy. That's, I guess, if I did adopt someone, they could cast on my setup. I guess they could. Oh, whoa! Prime Buzz getting the shot off. Decides to go for the run out. Wait, whoa, whoa! Oh, whoa! That was a beautiful run out by Prime Buzz. I didn't even know that was a run. I've never seen a team do that run out. Which is kind of crazy, actually. Anyways, QuizWiz decides to go for Slowsy. Doesn't secure the kill. Still a 3v1, 2v1. Bob Peters just decided to camp it out. But Slowsy's at 28 health. There's not too much they can do there as they get picked up. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to capture it on camera. But I'll show it here. Prime Buzz, I think, does the run out from here and is able to get, you can see it here, the 1-2K on the Elite Shadow players. And that is a beautiful run out if I've seen one. It's one of those, it works when you're not expecting it, but when they expect it, you can't really do it as much anymore. Let me have my yawning mouth here. As Stormwatch has been securing the wins back to back to back now against the Elite Shadow players. I'm starting to get a little nervous for the Elite Shadow folks. I'm wondering, can they do this? Because it's not looking as good for them, unfortunately. As we went to a map 3, I was starting to root for the Elite Shadow players again. But Stormwatch has just been doing such a good job on his defensive half here. But again, we saw this last map. We saw Stormwatch do such a good job on defense and start to struggle on that attack against the Elite Shadow players. So I'm wondering, is this a side difference again? Or Stormwatch able to definitively win this one? If I were them, I would try to hold this out 5-1 if possible. I wouldn't want to give Elite Shadows a 4-2 game switch or half switch. As again, we're going to be seeing a very conservative defense coming out from the Stormwatch players. Not much deep roaming play here, just very wide defense on his A side. You know what I'm kind of shocked by? I just remembered Elite Shadows, I don't think has gone for a switch up play in a while. They had gone, I think, doing 2 or 3 switch up plays against Stormwatch that worked to great effect, and we haven't seen that in a second. So I'm hoping they pull that out again. They have a couple more rounds here, and because it works so well for them. Oh, and that frag comes in, gets a little bit of chip damage, but is not going to be enough. Where are the Molotovs? People aren't using mollies anymore? What's going on? As the EMP does get planted here, and it looks like the Stormwatch players kind of just let it happen. Man with the foot comes in on the back and gets the 2K. Unfortunately, not able to do any more than that. Prime Buzz gets that pick off in the end there. Sebi gets finished off, and that is going to be it for the Elite Shadows players. Let's get that replay to showcase what happened there, as we saw so many picks happen in this one little zone from all the players there. But talk about, you know, great defense, great responses, great reactions by the Stormwatch players. Ugh. I don't know, man. I think Stormwatch at this point is kind of running towards that 5-1 win here. That's crazy. As Elite Shadows has been struggling. Again, I'm telling you, Elite Shadows pull out a switch up play. We saw 2 or 3 switch up plays last game, last map alone, and you won like 7 and 6. I think you got to pull them out more, because Stormwatch just didn't defend well against them, right? I know this map's a little more complicated on the switch of plays, but you know this, like for example, this third floor, you got A and B. You can go for the switch of play, right? 3K. That's what I would say if I were the IGL. I'm like, we got to do what works, right? You keep doing what works until it doesn't. Is how I kind of look at it. We just haven't seen Stormwatch, you know, adapt as fast, and same thing with Elite Shadows, adapt as fast to some of these attacking plays. So whatever works, I would keep hammering that home until it doesn't. And again, we're seeing conservative defense coming out from Stormwatch here. They're not going to be waiting or sending any roamers. They're just going to play it tight because that is what has been working against the Elite Shadows players. Deep frag coming out there, but unfortunately not going to be much as no chip damage has been hit. Gravity, though, getting a shot off on Farah there, and that's going to be a great pick to start this push. Doesn't matter. Salvo gets the refrag himself on Sebi here. Now we're just probably going to be seeing blow for blow at this point from both sides. Oh, Prime Buzz getting a shot off on Gravity. That's going to be a great pick there. As again, these teams are just going. This is just a shooting. This is just a shooting range at this point between these two teams. Space able to secure the pick in the end there, and I think they're lagging out at this point. That is going to be unfortunate for Space there, but hey, you know, things happen sometimes. Is Prime Buzz going to see Space here? Can they kill? Oh, is Space like unkillable in that position? Oh, that is that is unfortunate. Let's get that replay. I was wondering what was happening there. As we saw Prime Buzz again get a 2K, and that's a great start there. I think unfortunately for Space, I'm not sure if they just timed out or their headset died, but that is going to be a terrible way to finish out the round. But Stormwatch definitely looking a lot better while finishing this one out 5-1 on their second half here. At this point, I'm almost certain, I'm going to say certain, that they might win this one out. I'm pretty certain that they're going to win this one out 5-1. All they need is going to be one round to at least secure themselves that overtime, but two, to win out the whole game, right? I think Elite Shadows at this point only have 4 players. Martini sleepy. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell. I'm just tired right now, dude. I don't know what happened. Hold on a charger. All this matter. Your headset died while on charger. That is unfortunate. I always wonder if people put the cast on in the back while they're playing, even though it's like behind by, you know, a full round. It's kind of cool to hear, and like it's still solid. I would hope it's still solid commentary. Oh, as Alex the bot gets knocked out, that's gonna be Space is gonna be out there at this point, but we'll be seeing an interesting play. Look at this. Stormwatch decided to commit on the other side. If he gets shot down though, unfortunately. And Gravity actually in the top corner here. I'm wondering if they're gonna be able to get some value out of that. I have never seen this personally. Feel like oh, they couldn't even get the pick. That's unfortunate. But it's going to be a 3-3. Oh, and Prime Buzz able to knock out Gravity. They go in for the plan at this point. And Sebi in the back there. As the EMP does get planted. That's going to be a great play right now for the Stormwatch player. Slows, he's trying to get out of there. He gets picked up by Prime Buzz. Now it's only Sebi, and they get picked up too by Prime Buzz. I mean, what is going on with Prime Buzz here? I'm going to pull out this scoreboard here. I mean, check out Prime Buzz. 13 kills! Oh my god. Talk about, I would say, talk about a carry, man. Talk about 13-2. I mean, man with the foot, 8-2. Talk about almost a hard carry at this point. But beautiful gameplay there, right? From Prime Buzz. I've seen several 2Ks, several 3Ks coming out from them there. It's kind of crazy. And again, this is going to be an unfortunate ending. Only 4 players still on the Elite Shadows players. We're now finally on match point. Elite Shadows has to come in and do something now. Otherwise, we're going to be heading out and calling it a night here for, looks like the series win might be going to Stormwatch at this point, at this pacing, as they do have a slight advantage. I would almost call match point now if I was Stormwatch and just full buy. I would just full buy and say, hey, they only got 4. Let's full buy. Let's finish out this 7-1 here. And talk about definitive win if I've seen one. Oh, is Gravity not able to expect Soundwave approaching like that? And it looks like Stormwatch is already off to a solid start with another 1 player down. As we see a full 5-person commit to Stormwatch, and they come barreling in here, going in for the... Oh, that's an S tier frag already! And they got the EP plant from Farah. And Slow's able to pick off, though, in the end. Swaggers gets one themselves. Now in a 3v2 situation. What turned out to originally be a winning play has now come around, and it looks like it might not be as advantageous anymore. We got to see something here from these players. As Soundwave almost dying there. Alex the bot going in. Does not get shot. Alex the bot commits. Gets the shot. Alex pulls off. Alex is the bot, right? Okay. What? Alex the bot gets a pick. Oh my god. You know what? Talk about MVP here. As Alex the bot tries to go in for the defuse there. Wait. Oh, they lost it on purpose? I'm not quite sure what happened there. Did they not? What happened? Did they not get it in time? Or did they let it? I'm so confused. What? Anyways, looks like Stormwatch won that one out 7-1. Yeah, that's very interesting. I'm kind of confused. Hold on, let me get that. That round win is not showing right now. That's not fun. Yeah, I'm confused what happened in the end there. It looks like Stormwatch did win this one out. I'm not sure if someone had forgotten to defuse on time. So it looks like Stormwatch might have burned a lot of time. Elite Shadows, unfortunately, was not able to defuse in the very end there. And that did not work out for their team, as they did lose that out. And they did lose these series again because, check it out, Elite Shadows won 7-1 on Dam and a 7-5 on Arctic. And that worked out well, so well for them there, as Stormwatch unfortunately only got that round 2. But still a valiant effort from the Stormwatch players here. Anyways, I did want to give a shout out to our creators on the VRML team, and of course the mods. If you ever want to get involved in what we do behind the scenes, which is creating content, casting games, or helping with moderation, we're always accepting applications for more volunteers. So please head over to the Breachers VRML server and submit an application if you're interested. If you did enjoy the show with me today, check out my Twitch and YouTube. I do post stuff about content about Breachers, and occasionally do live streams with other casters and content creators. I think we'll be doing one actually with a lot of the Breachers casters tomorrow night, doing a ranked game with them, which will actually be kind of fun. And then I usually do the recreational cast with the Gravy team on Saturday, this Saturday, I believe. So we do like once a month, so it'll be fun. But if you do enjoy it, check out my socials. A lot of them are under Martini_. But anyways, thanks for coming out and watching another VRML Breachers cast. We appreciate seeing you all here today, and of course, remember to subscribe. Wow, I can't talk. To subscribe and leave a like. It'll be greatly appreciated, and hopefully we'll see y'all in the next cast.
Bleachers VRML is brought to you by Helga, the esports manager, Triangle Factory. Thanks for watching VRML.